Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. If you're new here, I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. Today I am doing my 5-star reads for second quarter 2022. I counted them yesterday when I was getting my shit together and I believe it was 28. And I think in first quarter it was around 33. So not less 5 stars like totally, but I think I read actually a little less than last quarter. That's what happened. Also, I was looking at these books and these like feel like I read them so long ago, and also like I read them yesterday. It's very confusing. So I'm going to go over the ones that I no longer own or I've never owned or any of that, and then hold up the ones that I have, and we'll go by month. So for the month of March? No, April. April. I read, hold on, 9? Is that 9? 3? Yep. 9 5-star reads, and they go as follows. So the two that I don't own, the first one is How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. I read this for the Alphabet Project G. I will put that above whichever side that is. I never get it right, so I'm not even gonna pretend like I know. I really like this book. This is a story of a girl whose mom dies suddenly. She was a single mom, so now the girl has to go into the foster care system. It was really sad. I have read another Kathleen Glasgow, Girl in Pieces, and I know that she has another one, and honestly I think this author only knows how to write sad things, because like even though it was just sad. Like, I don't even think the ending was really that hopeful. Everything was fucking sad. And even though I gave it 5 stars, and I usually keep all my 5-star books, I sold it. I could not keep it. I knew I could never read that book again. So, was it good? Yes. Was it also traumatizing? Yes. That's why I sold it. So I hope whoever I sold it to loves it and is not as traumatized as I was. Okay. The next one that I don't own is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I picked this up on audio, like on a whim. I had never read Alice Feeney before, but I really like this one, and that is surprising because for a majority of this book, not that I didn't like it, but I was like, okay, this is a solid 3-star book, which nothing wrong with that, right? And then we get to the twist, and the twist for me personally made it a 5-star book. So I don't think that's a popular opinion, but I really liked it and I stand by my 5-star rating. And now the next ones are ones that I own and that I gave 5 stars to. So let me show you. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so the first one, and I like, these are all my favorites, but like, okay, so that is A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddings. I loved this book. I picked it up like immediately as soon as I got it and loved it. This is a friends to lovers, and it's slow burn, which I don't normally like. And I don't even think I really like friends to lovers that much, but I loved this one. I was like giggling reading it, and this takes place at a dentist school. I hate going to the dentist, right? I mean, who likes going to the dentist? Dentist, I guess. But I love this, absolutely love this. And I have this author's second book that comes out, I think in September, as an ARC, and I should really read that. So absolutely love this one. It's just a cute, good romance. The next one was also for the Alphabet Project H, and I will put that up above, and that is How to Make, did I say the other one was for G? It was for H, Jesus, okay. This is How to Make Friends with the Dark by Ashley Herring Blake. I have given almost all of Ashley Herring Blake's books 5 stars. I was worried about this one because it didn't feel like a 5-star for like a very long time, and then the ending once again made it a 5-star book. This is a story about a girl who has a very complicated relationship with her mother, and I don't normally like to read about that, but I really liked it in this book, and I thought it was done really well, and it was also queer, if that's helpful, and I just really love Ashley Herring Blake, so definitely recommend this one. The next one is The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. This was my second Simone St. James that I had read, and I absolutely love this one. I will say it's a little slow in the middle, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but once again, and this may be an unpopular opinion, I love the ending. I just loved it. I thought it was really good, and a lot of people think it's like anticlimactic, but I liked it. So I didn't realize that most of all her like newer books are a little paranormal, so I am about this. I really like this. The next one was a reread, and the first time that I read this, I gave it 4 stars, and on my reread, I have given it 5 stars, and that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. The reason I gave it 5 stars this time is because I have read the entire series, and going back and rereading this, I just realized how amazing it is, and like how she is setting up the rest of the series in this one book. Like, it all comes back to this one book, and the way she is setting up the rest of the series, it just like makes my brain hurt. Like, I don't know how she did that, but I absolutely love this one. This is a Cinderella retelling in space, so it's awesome. Okay. The next one is She Gets the Girl by Rachel Lippincott and Allison Derrick. So the reason I love this one so much is because the authors are married, which I think is great. And it is loosely based off their relationship. And I just thought it was great because I love happy gays. So these are some happy gays. Also, it's set in college, and it's a little more mature YA, which is really what I am looking for nowadays when I read YA, so I just like happy gays, okay? So I gave 5 stars. The next 2 books are by the same author, and I absolutely love them, and I am shocked. But the first one is The Martian by Andy Weir. I was talking to my friend Lexi from Books with Lexi about this, and my husband heard, and he literally came into the room and handed it to me, and I started reading it right away. I had seen the movie, I think twice, before I read this, and it didn't even matter because I was still on the edge of my seat reading this, and there are a couple things that are in the book that didn't make it into the movie that I thought were just like so good. So I highly recommend this one, even if you have seen the movie. It is just good, and it's not like, it's like dumbed down science fiction because it's me we're talking about. So like, I just love this. I could grasp everything. And then the last book for April is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir as well. I buddy read this with Lexi and Monica. Basically, Lexi bullied me into reading this, so that was like the beginning of our friendship, I think. I absolutely love this. The audiobook is only available on audio, but I highly suggest the audiobook because of one of the characters in this book without getting spoilerly. I cannot say that word. But I absolutely love this one. I actually, now that I have listened to it, want to read it physically since I know what the character sounds like, and I think it'll just be a complete different experience. It's big, but it goes by really fast. That is April. We are getting into May because I know how to say the alphabet. No, months of the year. Whew. Okay. So for May, I had a ton. I had 11 5-star reads. Let me go over the ones that I don't own, which is 3. The first one was for the Alphabet Project I, now that I know the alphabet, and that's If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have given Jennifer L. Armentrout's 2 YA contemporaries both 5 stars. I think that they are really good, but just like How to Make Friends with the Dark, this was more hopeful at the end, but still this was too hard-hitting for me personally now. I did give it 5 stars, but I sold it to someone and I hope that they really like it. But this was a story about a girl who is involved in a drunk driving accident. She was not driving and she was not drunk, but she was still involved, and she's the only surviving person from the car, and it was just heavy. Okay. Whew. The next one was a buddy read with Sarah from Sarah Shelves, and that's A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I love this one. I did not think I was going to like this one, like at all. It is set in high school, but I don't consider it a YA because of the content of the book, but it took my brain a little while because I have read so much YA to be like, this is not YA, okay? It was an ordeal. But once I got past that, I absolutely loved it and gave it 5 stars. And even though I read it on Kindle Unlimited, I would like to own it because I just feel like I want to own this one. It's so good. The last one that I don't own is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was so blessed to get an arc of this, and literally I was supposed to buddy read something with Lexi and I was like, girl, I gotta hold on. So I read this in like 2 days and absolutely loved it. Look, for me personally, nothing, I say this now, but nothing from Taylor Jenkins Reid is going to be as good as Evelyn Hugo for me. But this was really close. I think this is like Evelyn Hugo and Carrie Soto. Like, they're so close. And I gave it 5 stars. I gave Malibu Rising 4 stars, but I think Carrie Soto was better than Malibu Rising just a little bit. I hope people really love it. There is a lot of tennis. I don't like tennis, or not that I don't like tennis. I don't care about tennis. I don't care about sports in general. But I really like this one. Like, the tennis didn't take away from anything. It was a really good character development story. It was just really good. And now let me get into the ones I own. Let's go with the easiest ones for me. Hold on. It's Heartstopper. I have made it very clear that I became very obsessed with the TV show when it came out. And so I could not like read anything. I could only watch the TV show. So while I was watching the show, I also reread the graphic novels. And I think I have read them twice this year. And by twice, I mean, I think I read them twice just in April. Anyway, I'll shut up about these now. You know that I love these. Okay, bye. And the next ones that I'll actually talk about are good as well. So the first one was gifted to me by Sarah from Sarah Shelves, and that's To Love Jason Thorne by Ella Mays. I love this. I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with the main character, but I had no issues with her, and I liked the romance in this. It's like a childhood friends to adult lover. It's like fake dating. It's like a whole bunch of tropes that just like really worked for me. And I absolutely love this. Once again, I was giggling. I would definitely reread this one, so loved it. It's also on Kindle Unlimited if you want to. The next one was Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I literally listened to this audiobook in one night on Rise Sprints. I accidentally buddy read it with Lachlan from Locke's Library. So like, it was a really good time. This was so good. This was so good. It was still a romance, but it was a more hard-hitting romance from Christina Lauren that I had never read before, but really, really, really worked for me. So absolutely recommend this one. And the last one from May that's probably my favorite is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I read this for book club and I sat down and read this in one single day. It was a Sunday, so I kind of like zoned out, and Castleman was really taking care of the kids that day, and I read this in one day. I loved this because I learned so much from it. I have had a couple people when I have done live streams and talked about this to look at the critical reviews for this one, and I have looked at those reviews. But for enjoyment purposes only, and the fact that I read this in one day when I have like a ton of shit going on, this is why I gave it 5 stars. But the critical reviews are important and I have read them. But for me personally, I really liked it and I gave it 5 stars. So that is it for me. Last but not least is June. Let me tell you how many 5 stars I gave in June. So I had 8 5 stars in June. June has been by far my worst reading month, and that is because I hit my reading goal and I was like, well, my brain has shut down. So that's what happened. So there's only one that I don't own, and technically I own it, and that is because it's an audiobook only book, and that is A Night to Remember by Morgan Batson. This is a novella, and it was once again available only on audio, so I got it from Libro FM. I loved it so much. I listened to books at 3 times speed. It was a 3.5 hour audiobook. I read it in an hour. So this is a story of Poppy, who is like a straight-laced girl who's trying to get into Stanford, and then something happens and she can't remember 24 hours of her day, so she like goes backtracks to figure out what happened. And I just thought it was really funny and like quintessential Morgan Batson, and I really loved it. That's it. The rest I own. Hold on. Okay, the first one is Late to the Party by Kelly Quinblin. I listened to this audiobook and honestly, I really liked it. It was a little slow. Like, I felt like things were really dragged out and it could have been like over in a couple less pages, but this is already so short. So like, I understand why this was dragged out a little bit, but it was queer. Like, all the characters were queer. And basically it's about this girl who has never been kissed and she's like 17 and she like doesn't know what to do, and she strikes up this like really weird friendship with like a really popular guy in school, and I just really liked it. I thought that the relationships were really different in this one, like the friendships and stuff, like they were definitely different, so I liked it. The next one is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. I believe this is the last book that I read for June, and I absolutely loved it. Listen, I don't have a lot of drama in my life, you know? Like, my life is pretty boring. I read for a living, basically. There was like a lot of drama in this book, and I personally was just eating it up. I was like, yes, give me this drama. I want it so much. And then it felt like a 4-star book for me like the entire time, which is great. And then the last 2 pages, there was a twist and it completely blew me away. And for that alone, 5 stars. I really like this one. This is dark academia mystery thriller. It has a lot going on. I liked it. The next one was a buddy read with Emily from Too Fond of Books, and we read it because of Harry Styles. Judge me, I don't care. And that is My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. I loved this one. It's historical fiction, which is not really my thing, but it's not really my thing, and I love Carrie Soto, so maybe it's my thing. Anyway, this is about kind of a love triangle in 1950s England. It's Brighton, actually, and it's about this policeman who marries this woman, but he is really using her as a beard, and he is in love with a man. And the drama in this one, especially at the end too, loved it. I'm gonna watch the movie. I never really watch movies, so for Harry Styles alone, and I gave this 5 stars. The next one was definitely the weirdest book that I have read so far this year, and that is You've Lost a Lot of Blood by Eric LaRocca. Listen, if I'm supposed to tell you what this book is about, but to be completely honest with you, I don't know. There's a lot going on. There's like a video game, a virtual reality thing, and then like interviews, and also like every 12 pages there's this disgusting bug. And all I know for sure is that it's queer, and it's best to go in blind. And even though I was confused the whole time, it was like a good confused. 5 stars. The next one was also a buddy read with Emily from Too Fond of Books. Pretty much every book that we have buddy read together has been amazing. So this is Yerba Buena by Nina Lacour. This is Nina Lacour's first adult literary fiction. It's also queer. Anyway, I love this. The way the 2 stories of these 2 women are told, it like intersects each other through a couple years. Beautiful. I loved this cover before I knew what this book was about, but now that I know what this book is about, I love the cover even more. I love this book. I love this book. I love this book. Okay, happy gaze. Kinda happy gaze. The next one is another Simone St. James, and this is the Sundown Motel. This was actually for my 5-star predictions video, which I'm still not done, and I love this one. I believe this is my only 5-star for that 5-star predictions video, so like yikes. But also I loved this book. I have read 3 Simone St. James, and this is my favorite. I did also give The Broken Girls 5 stars, but this was better than The Broken Girls, and I loved this one so much. This was so good. It was like not a haunted house, but a haunted motel, which was even creepier in my opinion. And then the very last book that I have for my 5-star reads for second quarter 2022 is This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. love this one. Emma Straub is the owner of Books Are Magic, which is in Brooklyn, New York, and I want to go there so bad. And I was listening to NPR, which I love, and they were interviewing her, and that's when I found out that she was the owner of Books Are Magic, and I really wanted to read this. So I bought a signed copy from Books Are Magic and then listened to the audiobook. This was amazing. It was like a 13 going on 30, but backwards. So she was 40 going on 16, and it was so good. And it is a little heavy because there is parental death and stuff, so it was more literary fiction, but I absolutely loved this one. I loved it so much that I have bought some of her backlist, and I am not sure how I haven't heard of her before this book, but I just thought that this was really, really good if you like slow literary fiction, which I'm trying to get into more. So it was good. So those are all my 5-star reads of second quarter 2022. I'm hoping to have such a good third quarter of 2022. I am really back in my reading groove. So thanks for watching my video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.